We'll pour the grapes into this end. It'll auger them down through, drop them into the destemming area. Those paddles then flip the grape clusters against the holes and the grates, knocks the grapes off, and will kick the stems out this end, and that's what those little paddles are. These are the slots that the juice of the wine actually comes out of, so you press your grapes up against that. And then put these end caps on, and I don't know why they do that. I guess just to hold them. These trays don't move at all, so. We slide the tray back underneath. And we hook the hose back. Rotate the press back up so we get the door to the top, and we're ready to fill it up again. Okay, we're putting the pump into position. This is what we call a pump over. You do pump overs on reds. And this is right before we're pressing, and with reds you're soaking your grapes in the juice with the seeds, the pulp, the skins, to extract color, flavor, and tannins. And it gets kind of muddy in here, and if you pump all the wine out, all you're left is the pulp and skins, and so then you have a real problem getting those out. So we're going to try and stir this up a couple of times. I think that's fairly well stirred up. Now we're pumping all the seeds and skins and pulp and juice into this press. This is a 3-inch pump. It's I think a 5-horse motor, so we've got it slowed way down and it'll pump a good stream of water. Now you'll see over here that the juice is starting to come out. Slots in those stainless steel trays and kind of separates the two. End of the tray. Yes, you're going to see a big rush here in a little bit when we get this up to the drain position. It's just going to roll. One of the things you get when it all comes out, it's pretty much dry. It's about like it's still pretty cakey and damp, but all the goodies out of it. That every job can be a lot of work, and so you kind of got to be prepared. You know, grape growing doesn't take as much capital as winemaking. But winemaking, you know, for instance, what does it take? You know, how much do you have invested? They threw out the figure of about $1 million would be invested into a good winery before you were all done, and that's probably not too far off, depending upon where you're at. The other thing that surprises you is how much math you use. You don't think when you're in school, you know, that you're just, you know, sometimes going through it. And you like classes, you don't like classes. They're easy, they're not easy. And the interesting thing is, you know, how to calibrate a sprayer. You know, how many ounces of a chemical to use, and how many gallons. And how do you calibrate how fast you're going. So you got to know that you're moving X number of feet per second, and it takes you X seconds to travel 100 feet, and you're spraying X gallons. You know, that's all part of the calibration process that I learned at the university in a weeds class. And then when you get into the lab part of the wine side of things, I mean, you're looking at converting English to metric, because the wine industry does everything in metric: grams, liters, milliliters, hectoliters. So you know that you're putting 1 gram of yeast per gallon of wine too. So that's easy to figure out. But you know, like on the yield here, you're looking at 160 gallons of yield per ton is what you should get. So you basically start out on that premise, and then you have to measure your tanks. So then you got to know pi r squared equals, you know, the circumference. So you get how many gallons per inch, so you know what the volume is in your tanks. So there's a lot involved. One of the things you have to plan for in your business is the possibility for expansion, again, depending upon what your business plan tells you. We're at a point in year 2 where we thought we would be in year 5. And so we're having to do an expansion, which you can see the guys working back here putting in a drain system for us. And we're actually doubling the size of our building. We're adding 3,000 square feet, which will include warehouse, some vehicle storage, storage underneath an office, and then an office on the main floor, so that we're able to conduct additional business and sales. So.